All right, we're just gonna go live a couple of seconds before this game ends. I don't know what's going on. I'm sick of waiting. Uh, Rushed home from CBS Sports Radio to do a stream, and then we're going to overtime, and now we're gonna lose this game in overtime to the Bulls. We'll talk about that again. This is the Bart Winkler Show. This will be Bucks content. This video. The Friday, December 1st show will also have some voicemails and some Jackson Churio discussion and some other stuff. So if you're just a YouTube consumer, I do have this show as audio. And when I go on YouTube, I also do have it on audio. Sometimes I add to it, sometimes I don't. Today's one of those days that I've added to it. So there's a fuller show on audio. Bart Winkler Show, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get yours. And so just so you know that this one is going to go final. And this is stupid. This is a dumb loss, and I'm going to be very upset about it. I don't know. Try to work through my feelings. Bucks lose to the Bulls 120 to 113. They had an opportunity to win this game. They were up 3 heading into overtime, and they let Alex Caruso take a shot, and he scored. The ball went in the hoop, so that meant overtime. After that overtime, the Bucks, had some chances to win the game, and then they did not. The Bulls won this game. This was a game that the Bulls probably should have won anyway. I think whatever the Bucks are doing, they got in kind of a habit that they can just try when they want to, and they need to break that habit. So the initial title of this YouTube was Chicago Bulls become the first victim, or become another victim of Bucks not trying until they feel like it. Now the title of this YouTube on the Dan Schani YouTube stream is Bucks realize they can't play the comeback card forever, lose to the Chicago Bulls. And I wonder how much of the discussion now is going to be about the one thing that I just don't know if I feel like discussing it tonight, because we can't do it. We can't do this every time the Bucks, well, I mean, not even lose, but every time they just flat out play. There's got to be a whole discourse on Adrian Griffin. Remember, the last time the Bucks played the Bulls, they won by 9. That was November 13th. In that time, it's been all Adrian Griffin talk. And in that time, his team went 8-1. Now 8-2. So since that article was written on Brew Hoop, okay, just shout out for what it is. Well, since the article, the Bucks have gone 7-2. And they lost by 3 to Boston, and they lost to the Bulls. Both of the losses were similar, where they were down big and then came back and rallied, but it just wasn't enough. So I've already seen some garbage out there. Dean, of all the Bucks, had a scale that if Kid is a 0 and Bud is a 10, Adrian Griffin's a -3. That was his first tweet since July. Peter Bukowski of Locked On Packers, Locked On Today, 8 minutes ago, says there's still a non-zero chance Doc Rivers is the coach of the Bucks by Valentine's Day. I mean, what are we doing? Let's read some of the comments on YouTube. Man. All right. Andre says pathetic with at least 15 exclamation points. Alex takes a rational approach, says, bummer, they should have won this one. Can't win them all. Richard says Lillard disappeared. Now, I know at one point late in the fourth quarter, he had just 1 point in the second half, was giving the ball up to Beasley, who was knocking down some threes, and Lopez too. John says, are we allowed to complain about not fouling up 3, or is that racist? That's a pretty stupid, that's dumb. That's dumb. That's a dumb That's a dumb thing. I know who this is. That is a dumb thing. You're not backdooring your way into this. No. Not doing that. Adam says, is the Milwaukee Bucks franchise just a jobs program for star players and their less talented brothers? Wow. You guys are not excited tonight. Jake says, are we still going to pretend like we don't have a coaching issue? Wow. Chris says, this coach sucks. Q says, I'm not calling in tonight. People are so dumb about regular season NBA. Embarrassing losing to this team. Okay. I don't think they should have lost this game. But they did. And I would say not following up 3 is a big reason, but also don't get down to 12 points against the Bucks in the fourth quarter. I think, Tyler, are you at the game?
You see me? Yeah.
Yeah. Were you at the United Center?
We got boots on the ground over here.
Boots on the ground in Chicago.
I've been talking trash, but we got a big loss today. But here's my deal, man. How do you they're playing Beauchamp and Ajax in the third? I don't think they cared. Giannis wasn't even sweating. We really should not be taking these games that serious. I think Dame looked a little frustrated towards the end, but he was also not asking for the ball. He was passing it. I can't take these games that seriously.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are going to. But I don't know how serious the Bucks are taking these games. And if you want to decide that that's a coaching problem, that's fine. I just don't like the Bucks. I don't know. Here, I want to read one tweet from Martinez. I think it's obvious now that this version of this Bucks team isn't trying to blow teams out. These cats are really taking the first to third quarter as an extended practice to work on chemistry and live action. And we can assume that, say that. And if they're doing it, I think it would calm people down if we just knew that. I think a lot of people are upset because they're expecting top-notch 100 out of 100 Bucks play. They're expecting playoff Bucks basketball 6 weeks after we started with a new superstar and a new head coach. So I think that's where the disconnect is people are expecting championship basketball on November 30th. Now, I'm not excusing a loss to the Bulls. And I bet you if DeRozan and Levine played, that the Bulls do lose this game because they fucking suck with those guys. But you give some other guys some playing time, they have an opportunity to beat the Bucks. They fucking beat the Bucks.
I mean, the pick and roll between Giannis and Dame is just non-existent right now. They're trying to figure it out. Even when they do it, they shoot it off, right? It's not like Giannis sets the screen and then Dame shoots right away. They're throwing it to the third guy. I think they're just playing around. I just don't think these games matter, and it's going to be a lot for me to convince me otherwise. And we talked for years how coaches don't matter, and you're telling me that these early November games are supposed to take that much credit for? I don't know, man. I've seen Giannis sweat. I've seen him. He wasn't even sweating tonight. I've seen him. He wasn't driving towards the hoop. He wasn't putting his body on the line. I think it's just a game. And
yeah,
I don't know.
If it's just a game for them, it's clearly more than that for the Bulls, and they're going to beat you. This
is the biggest moment of the Bulls' year.
Well, and then the second biggest will be when they trade Caruso, and the first biggest will be when they trade Levine.
Yeah, we ain't getting either of them. But
is there a decent amount of Bucks fans tonight, or no? It didn't sound like it. I just wondered if people made the trip.
So it's Greek towns right here. So the Greek group. I thought everyone was a Wisconsin person. I wanted to talk to them, but no, everyone's just Greek people in Chicago. So that's a big part of the group. That's why you're hearing a lot of screaming from Giannis doing something.
All right. Well, Tyler, thanks for the BOTG.
Yeah, man. Pleasure to join.
We're always here anytime. Boots on the ground with Tyler, who is in Chicago. Got some unfriendlies in the stream tonight. Bearded Gamer's back. Hello there, old friend. How about them Bulls? I figured a Bull fan or two would jump in here tonight. I don't know where this guy's coming from. Chasing Dream says, y'all trash barely won against my Miami Heat with no Butler or Hero. Can't wait till the playoffs. Y'all sorry motherfuckers. Whoa. Again, I am a beacon for the opposing teams, it seems like. I got Ben L here. I'll bring him in just a second. Remember, Happy Place Hem and that code BART should work through the BART works forever, 25% off. BORT works through the end of the week, 30% off. Shout out to Jean, just told me she picked up some more Sleepy Time CBD, CBN gummies and some lip balm. Remember, Delta 8s, Delta 9s, THC, CBD, CBDN, CBG, a lot of different gummies that you can try. I recommend I recommend just getting a sampler pack right away. Get a sampler pack, see what they're like, see what they do to you, see how they affect you, see how they help you sleep or what helps you feel good or whatever. And then order again because the code works every time. HappyPlaceHemp.com, HappyPlaceHemp.com, promo code BORT this week for 30% off, and BART always works for 25. All right, Ben L on the headset.
How can we take the game seriously when they literally inbound the ball to Giannis to get fouled at the end of the game to take the last 2 free throws?
Yeah, what was that about? I mean, made them.
They're giving them time to be good in the clutch for free throws? I don't know. I mean, in a playoff game, they're never doing that, right?
I fucking hope not.
So we won the game.
I don't know that I can answer that.
You can't be serious like that. If you're out there as a Bucks fan and you're worried that the Bucks were taking this game seriously, just look. I mean, that block by Giannis at the end of the game, that was the end of the game. The game was over.
On what's his nuts?
Yeah.
So we should have fouled, obviously.
Yeah.
And then they lost the game. I got another Cubs fan here. Y'all suck. We take counsel, and now this. Cubs fan, Bulls fan.
You got some good trolls. I love it.
Nick says, show some damn life and that you care about playing and winning. Adam says, I think if the team isn't going to take it serious, then that's radiating to the fans. We can either be pissed or find some humor in it. Taylor says, let's be sad that today was Carol Meekin's last day at TMJ4 rather than lose our shit over this isolated loss. Brewers Kill 823 says, hear me out. Dame literally mailed this in. Dude was lazy. You could see it in his body language. I don't know.
I mean, he had like 4 assists in like 5 minutes.
So quarters 1 through 3, I watched on a computer while hosting a radio show while also watching Cowboys Seahawks.
Yeah.
Is my reflection of watching quarter 4 that they just kind of seem like they're running at 75% speed? Like, is that accurate? Was this the whole game problem?
I don't know. I'm kind of confused why we're like the whole 1 through 3 we're not trying, and then in the 4th we are. Like,
I guess in the past I would be like, well, this is great because it's going to help for playoffs and whatever, but I don't think that's what's going on here. They were up like 9-0 right away, and I'm like, okay, this will be a blowout. Bulls aren't playing anybody good. Let's just make this an easy one. And then,
you don't want to blow people out if you can blow them out. They need to come
back on Sunday. They need to come back against the Heat. They need to. It's like,
that's kind of what I'm getting at. Is like, why aren't we playing to blow a team out and then rest in the 4th?
Yeah, I don't know either.
Like, why is every night a struggle instead of 3 out of 4 nights we're up 15 in the 4th?
And I don't think this is like. So there's a lot of
struggle, but
there's a lot of big picture Buck stuff going on, and a lot of it's centered around new coach trying to figure shit out. And some people are going to have patience with that. Some people are not. And so that's kind of going on in the background of all these conversations, and people bring it up all the time. But I think like tonight, if you're just going to individually look at tonight, yes, it's one game. This will have little effect on anything that happens. It's, whatever. But also I think like if you sat down and watched this game tonight, what was this? What the fuck? What was this? This was sloppy, shitty, dumb, It wasn't a good basketball game. And you can have those across 82 games. I think like if this happens Saturday against the Hawks, okay, whatever. We're watching college football. We're out. It's a weekend. This happened on a Thursday night. People are watching the game if they can get it on Bally's, of course.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what the fuck? What the fuck was this? It's just like it's so what the fuck was this that it's like I don't even. What's even the breakdown? Like what the fuck?
Yeah, the breakdown. You're right. They should have fouled at the end of the game. I saw a couple people. If it's a playoff game and you want good coaching, you foul at the end of the game to lock it up.
Red guy's back. He says these rednecks in Milwaukee need to take gummies to get over these horrible losses.
Clever.
Yeah. Well, first of all, 25% off this week, 30. Also, this is the Bucks' 6th loss of the season. If we're taking gummies for 6 losses, what the fuck are you guys hitting for your 14? Okay.
It's Chicago. I'd be careful what you say.
I mean, what are you guys discarding in the trash? Just a lot of great comments on here. Fun. Jake's here. Hot take, Jake. Thoughts?
Well, that sucked. Yeah, the quarters 1 through 3 thing, like you can only do that for so long before that's going to come back to bite you in the ass. At some point, you do have to give some, modicum of effort in those quarters if you expect, especially to put good teams away. Maybe tonight is a good learning tool for them to say, oh yeah, even against shit teams like Chicago, we do have to kind of try a little bit and not just expect Dame to take the ball and go do his thing in the fourth. Dame was weird tonight. He is like a maestro with the basketball, but in the fourth quarter and in overtime, it was like, what is this orange orb that you are handing me? I don't know what this is, what I'm supposed to do with it. Very, very uncharacteristic for him. And it would have been nice if Chris Middleton showed up. That contract is going to be a problem if it's not already. We need more from the $30 million man. And bad night for the Griff lovers or the Griff guys and gals, because he had a bad night tonight from the rotations.
But is this where we're at? Is this where we're at, Jake? Is every game going to be the same discourse, or is it going to be Middleton contract and Griff fire meter?
Well, I mean, when it comes down to it,
that's annoying, and I'll quit doing this, and I'll go DoorDash again if that's what we're gonna do.
Well, if it calls for it, he should be allowed to be criticized. Both those guys should be allowed to be criticized. I just think Bucks fans are weird when it comes to certain people. Like Bobby Portis has a bad game, and they are ravenous. They want his head on a pike. Middleton has a bad game. It's like that meme with Gordon Ramsay and the kid, like, oh, you're so special. You're so beautiful. Don't ever talk bad about Middleton. But I do want to talk about some of the miscues from Griff tonight. I mentioned the rotations. There was some moments in the fourth there, like the inbounds play where they got it to Giannis. They bailed him out by Giannis hitting those 2 free throws, because why was he not the one inbounding the ball in the first place? That was a big miscue. And then the one that annoyed me most, and I was screaming about it, you're up 3. They have 5 seconds. When they inbound the ball, take a damn foul. What do? They're switching on defense. They get freaking Caruso on Lopez, who should not have even been on the floor in the first place. The only reason you would have him in there is for interior defense, and down 3, they're not taking the ball towards the hoop. Get your best perimeter defenders out there. They don't foul. Sure enough, Caruso hits the stupid pull it out of his ass miracle shot. And at that point, it was elementary. The momentum had shifted. Momentum is real in basketball. And to me, that was just, the last 5 minutes was a formality. They weren't winning tonight.
Ben, any thoughts on any of that?
Well, I think the third topic, not the Chris Middleton or Griff talk, is we need to start blowing a couple teams out. Quarters 1 through 3 need to matter somewhat, because otherwise we're going to have our stars, playing tough minutes at the end of the game, and that's when you get injured, I think, instead of having some rest at the end of the game. But I agree with what Jake said. It is Griff's loss. I mean, that whole sequence, that whole last minute could have been managed properly.
Yeah. Stalis Tom says, I don't want to talk about the obvious problems. I'm not coming on here and saying Adrian Griffin is great, and I'm not coming on here and saying he's absolved from all criticism. I just think that we went from like I would enjoy nice discussion about what our coach is, what he's bringing to the table, what we think that can be improved, how we're seeing him grow. If we're not seeing him grow, I would enjoy that kind of discussion. But right away it went to firing. And that's not blaming anybody that's watching.
I'm not saying fire him. I want to see in the next couple weeks some blowouts to see if he can orchestrate some blowouts.
I do too, and I think that would be good for everybody. We went right away. I mean, we as Bucks, whatever we are, we went right away to fire the coach. And so now we can't talk about Griffin because it's always about firing. And I feel like I
fire Griffin though, because I don't know if I've ever heard it once on this show. I've never said it.
Well, I bring it up that other people say. Other people said it a lot on here. The comments are always saying it.
I don't know.
I love the comments.
Again, you got to remember, Bart.
Eric says I made Paul Henning quit the internet because I bullied him about Griff.
Yeah, that went too far. I feel bad for Paul on that one.
I didn't bully no shit.
No, I know it wasn't your fault, but people are just, yeah.
Henny God says, admit hiring a rookie coach was a mistake. This is what I said the other day. This may not have been a good decision.
But you committed to it.
But they're not going to fire him right now. So if you want Griff fired, like it may have been a bad decision. They did not know that they were getting Dame here. Okay? I don't know that I would have whatever. It may have been a bad decision. They may end up firing him. He may not make the season. We can't do it in November. And now it'll be December. But I've said it all along. I've said this before. I'll reiterate. If Adrian Griffin's getting fired, it's going to be in March. No sooner. It's going to be in March where they get a guy, and maybe it's Bukowski's boy, Doc Rivers, or promote Prunty or do something. But I don't see that happening.
Well, I think I'll defend you here a little bit, Bart, because like I said, you were like the face of, you were like John Cena back in 2021. Never give up, hustle, loyalty, respect. I'm putting my chairs out on the street, and that positivity can be rare. But in the same token, last year when they were down 2-1 to Miami, and I said this team's in trouble, you were like, dude, they're not losing to the 8th seed. It's not happening. You need to chill. And I think sometimes the positivity can be a little bit blinding. I'm just saying.
No, I don't think that we need to jump to the craziest conclusion right away.
But honestly, this is probably a hot take. Is Doc Rivers better than Griff?
I don't want Doc.
I don't want
Doc. No.
Like I would. What 2008? That's 15 years ago.
Can I tell you who I want?
Jake, here. I got a couple more comments.
All right, peace.
Oh, you can stay.
Oh, okay.
I was just doing a professional reset.
Yeah, you have a very calming influence on this show. I like it.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
That's my hottest take so far, though.
I want Mike Budenholzer. That's who I want.
No better than Griff.
Oh, that's scorching.
Just bring back Bud. He can be our version of Billy Martin on the Yankees.
Elm says that loss was on Dame. No points in second half or overtime. Well, he did have the one. Stalis Tom says as Dame goes, so go the Bucks. He needs 35 a night. I don't know if that's true, but what did he have?
No, that's not true.
He only had 19.
18, 1 of 6 for 3, which Q brought up.
I will say this about Dame. I did have a moment tonight where this thought went through my head, and it was a fleeting moment. But do you remember that game where people were criticizing, or back in the day, people were criticizing Kobe for shooting too much? And then the next game, he went out and did not shoot a shot in like the second half, and they lost to Dallas by like 3. It was a nationally televised game. I had that thought for a second, and I'm like, something going on here? Because he literally did look like he was actively not trying to shoot for a minute. Maybe I was seeing things.
Well, and you got to remember, we didn't have Pat Connaughton tonight, so.
True, and Andre Jackson Jr. went down. So.
Yeah, and Andre Jackson Jr. But what we do
I do love me some Ajax.
What we do have is this nice merch from 4 Golf. 4golfapparel.com, promo code BART, 10% off all orders. I got the long sleeve on because I needed something to fit my dad bod, and these are great at that. Maybe
You know who you remind me of right now?
What?
Frank Costanza.
I look like Frank Costanza?
Yeah, I don't know why. That color and just just reminds me of something that George's dad would wear.
I could see me looking like a young Frank Costanza.
I got a lot of problems with you people.
I can do.
Yeah.
People are asking about Griff and Giannis, and did Horst want Nurse instead? And he went with Griffin, or he went with Giannis. I don't know how much of Giannis focusing on Griff. I don't know how much, like, it's not like Bud got fired and Giannis ran to Horst's office and said, go get the assistant coach in Toronto.
No, but I think he was the deciding factor for sure.
I don't know.
He wanted a former player.
Well, then we got to blame Giannis if everybody hates Griff.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to protect Giannis from himself. Remember, he lost his shit when Kid got fired, and he tried to get Kid rehired after they fired him.
Oh, gosh.
Corey says, this team isn't built to blow teams out. Every game will look the same, whether it's the Bulls or Celtics. We'll grind teams out to the last seconds of the fourth, where we have the biggest advantage.
That's not true.
Pretty dangerous game.
It's not true.
I got Ben and Jake, and here is Cone Roller back on the stream.
What's up?
What's up, Cone?
No.
You know, this discussion is sounding a lot like Badger basketball with how we, go from one end of the spectrum of firing Greg Gard to loving him and offering him a life contract.
Does Grant need to do a Griffin gauge?
Yeah.
Griffin gauge? I don't know. I'd be like in the middle all the time, probably. Unless they drop to anywhere near 500, then I would sound the alarm. But I just don't see it happening.
Maybe the Bucks just need in-season tournament pressure to.
Yeah. Yeah.
They got the 1 seed. That's on Griff's resume.
Oh, that's a big one. Yeah, he could have as many championships as Doc before the season's over.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know that Doc Rivers ever fucking won an in-season tournament game.
No.
Hey, how about this scenario? What if Griff wins the in-season tournament and then gets fired afterwards?
It's like winning during COVID, right? The Lakers chip.
Yeah, and then they fired Vogel not too long after.
Disney chip.
Will the in-season tournament, say in 50 years, will we look back at players and judge them on their legacy of in-season tournament wins?
Yeah, maybe. Well, he's a 3-time MVP.
Are we gonna have a banner? We drop a banner?
Never was able to get over the hump.
Well, and remember we had like the guys that they became the COVID guys, like TJ Warren, and people thought Jamal Murray for a minute. Maybe we'll have in-season tournament guys too. Like maybe Beasley will be MJ in the in-season tournament, which that also annoyed me tonight because I was getting ready to come on here after the win and praise Beasley for being what we wanted Grayson Allen to be. And then they go and freaking blow it and just ruin all the positive mojo I had in me.
I thought Beasley had some good defense. Like, he brings some decent defense I wasn't expecting.
Somebody in the comments said, Ian says, Adrian Griffin's presser, we probably should have fouled. That's on me. I will take the loss. Then I don't know if this is editorial from Ian or that can't happen with a championship roster.
Hey, fair play to Griffin.
The thing, though, in situations like that, why doesn't a player just say, fuck it, I'll foul this guy? Why does it have to be decreed by the coach?
It doesn't.
No.
But again, I think an experienced coach makes that message clear.
Well, I think, Brooke, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's foul out, whatever. 6, he's out. I don't know.
Again, Brooke
Middleton probably couldn't catch him.
Situation.
I just searched.
Game wasn't trying.
On Twitter, just the name Adrian Griffin. This just can't be about Griffin every fucking night.
Well, tonight was a bad game for him, so of course he's going to get some criticism. But like I said, fair play to him for admitting his mistake.
Oh, he's got to do better.
Cone, what else you thinking?
I didn't watch the Bucks game tonight, so I'm just kind of sitting on the back burner. But got a couple other Big Ten West rumors or East rumors.
Really good shot.
Oh yeah, about what?
Do we know our bowl game yet for football?
Gruden to Indiana potentially.
Oh, they just hired a guy.
Oh, never mind then.
That's crazy.
They hired James Madison's guy.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I did see that.
That fucking sucks when like coaches bring a program up from nowhere and then the whole place gets pumped and then they're just like, fucking peace. I'm going
Oh,
to
like Luke Fickle?
Wilmington.
That's what Fickle's going to do to us.
Yeah. He's gonna be. He's terrible. All right, this is the Bucks, not a Badgers post game. So
Big game on Saturday though. Badgers Marquette.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Bart, by the way, you did call the Lions game when we were having our conversation last week.
The Packers would win?
Yeah,
I got a prediction for this week.
I heard already, but go ahead.
Packers lose.
No, what?
Yeah.
No.
Going out on a limb there.
Packers lose 27 to
24? Because I got 1 in my betting pool. I got a 1, so somehow the math has to add up to 1.
something. Okay, it could be 28, 23 then.
Okay, that's cool.
It'll be something like, I think Jordan Love will play well, but you're getting Jordan Love against the Chiefs' best defense in the Mahomes era against Joe Barry, who's just like, yo, you can't fool Mahomes, been in the league a long time. So it's like they're not even gonna fucking try to stop him.
I think
Where's the game played at? Not that it matters that much.
Or something.
they got a good look at practice this week with Clifford playing Mahomes. He did a good job. So I don't know. I'm not as optimistic either about this game. I'm like 27-20, 27-17.
No, if the Packers are going to make the playoffs, if this is going to be a push they're going to do, they've got plenty of shitty guys or shitty teams coming up to do that against. It's just we got to get through the Chiefs first. And you got Carolina, Tampa, Chicago. I mean,
I just want them to look like they belong on Sunday. Like, I'm not expecting a win, but I also will say this. Packers, please either win or lose by like 14. So I'm not like invested in it and hoping that you win. Like, don't lose on last second field goal or like, you know, have a chance to win and throw a pick. Like, just, I want a nice, easy Sunday night. Please.
It's a Sunday nighter. They flex that, or is that how it's always been?
No, I think that was scheduled.
Yeah, it's scheduled.
The Chiefs did just get flexed, though, which is hilarious.
Where's the game?
Yeah, Thursday Night Football put up Bill Belichick
Okay.
as their signature guy against the Steelers' TJ Watt for their graphic for next week.
Well, they did.
Yeah, it was Patriots, Steelers. One was TJ Watt, the other was Bill Belichick because they got nobody.
The game Jake's talking about is Week 15, Chiefs Patriots was going to be Sunday night. They changed that to Eagles at Seahawks on Monday night. No, these are Monday night. That pisses me off. Because then if people are traveling out there, they got to change all that shit.
That could have been you.
I know. What if I go to a game and they're just like, fuck it, we're on Monday now. I leave Monday. You fly back
That's
Monday.
kind of bullshit. Does anybody know Aaron Jones' status? Because he's not on IR.
No, Aaron Jones is on the fucking.
Could come back.
Is he a Packer next year?
No.
I don't think so.
We draft a young running back and cut or trade Dylan too.
I would have said no, but I think there's going to be motivation on both sides to mess with his contract, get him back maybe at a smaller number. I know Aaron Jones loves Green Bay, and I don't think the market for him is going to be all that robust. So I think I believe he has a year left on his deal.
It's pretty steep, though.
Right. I think they'll come up with a number to get him back. Maybe that's just wishful thinking too. I've got a lot of love for
I think
AJ.
I would say I'm with you. I want to think that, but I think the reality is it's a young man's game and he'll be 29 and a running back.
Any other comments? I'm going to wrap it up.
Any Badger Marquette preview for this weekend?
Oh,
I just wish I cared more.
Yeah.
I don't even know that I'll watch the game.
really?
I'll be watching Texas, Oklahoma State.
I'm like Kelsey's mom. I can't lose. I like both teams. I'm a bandwagoner for both. So whoever wins is who I wanted to win.
You don't root for a team when it's happening?
It's hard, yeah, because I went to Madison, but I grew up. My family was big Marquette people, so I'm torn on basketball.
Got to go with the alumni. Come on.
I know, but at the same time, it's like I know who's gonna win. Like Marquette's
Actually,
gonna
no. I'm going to root for Wisconsin just because I just remembered that Marjan kid is a Marquette guy. So I'm going to root for Wisconsin.
Green and growing.
Jesus. That's rude.
My last thought is really more of a request. Bart, can you please tell me, just declare that CM Punk versus Stone Cold Steve Austin is not happening so I can see it happen, please?
Yeah, Stone Cold doesn't wrestle. It's not happening.
Read up on the dirt sheets. There was a story today. That's all I'm saying.
No.
I got one thing too before I go. I said I'd take the bag off if the next team that wins a championship. Does a mid-season tournament count?
You got to go half bag.
Yeah, just show me your pretty little mouth.
Oh no, that's I'm like down the middle.
Go to a Ziploc if that happens.
Get one of those sex masks.
Yeah.
No, get like a Sendix plastic bag. It's a little smaller.
Yeah. Take off a Trader Joe's bag to reveal a Sendix bag.
Perfect.
Don't take the bag off. I won't let you on.
All right. Peace out.
All right, yeah. See you guys. Have a good night.
All right, bye, folks.
Later, Winklerverse.
Peace out. I was just going to play a couple voicemails from Matt real quick. Matt in the Falls. Carlos Place voicemail line 402-915-2278. Here is Matt.
Everyone, stop talking about fucking wrestling. This Hollywood bullshit is garbage, and I'm sick of hearing about it on this podcast.
Oh, that was a voicemail I got at 5:14. I did get a callback voicemail. Here's another one from Matt in the Falls, 7:30.
Hey Bart, it's me. Calling back about the wrestling thing. Called earlier. Was a little charged up because I was listening to today's episode on my way home from work. As I do, I like to split up the episode in small segments throughout the day as I can. But I was listening to you guys talk about wrestling, and I was just so fed up. And it's not that, obviously we all know wrestling is fake and all that, and I don't want to get into that and, whether it's done or not. The thing about you guys and talking wrestling is you don't actually talk, like there's no substance whatsoever. It's all just like, is CM Punk back? Is the AEW better than the WWE? What's going on with the WWE? Oh, the AEW was so good in the 90s. But is CM Punk back? Oh, I don't know. Gravedigger might be back. But then is this guy back? Like, you guys there's no actual talk about any wrestling whatsoever. Like, you'd think that if this was this big thing, you would be, oh, did you see him jump off the top rope, do a backflip, and kick him in the face? But no, you don't talk about any of that crap. Because there's nothing to talk about. And it's super just, there's nothing to it. It's wasted time with no substance whatsoever. Is the WWE, is Hulk Hogan coming back to the AEW? I don't fucking know. Who gives a shit?
We're gonna laugh because you called it the AEW. Oh, us wrestling guys are gonna laugh and laugh. Matt wants more in-depth wrestling breakdowns. I could talk about Gunther's match. He gave The Miz a lot of offense at Survivor Series, but that's good for The Miz. Are they building The Miz to beat Gunther? They can't. You got to have like a younger guy beat him. Chad Gable needs to be the one to beat Gunther. I like that storyline. They've got him more on the comedy scene now. But I do like The Miz as a face. He's a natural heel, but I like when he does these little face runs. And with that, we bid you adieu. Next live show will be Sunday night, Packers and Chiefs. We could talk a little bit about the Bucks Hawks on that one too. That's Saturday night, and we can find out what happened with college football because we'll know the playoffs by then too. So all of that will be good. Stalis Tom says, open some cards. I could do 1 pack of cards, but then I'm going to run out. I'll do 1 pack of cards here. Let's go with, again, these are all for my son. And now he will be deprived of this joy because I had to open them on the internet. We've got a Donruss pack from, I don't know what year this is. I'm going to say late 80s. We got a puzzle piece. All right. That goes to the Stan Musial puzzle. Got a puzzle piece there. Oh, this is Donruss 88. We got a Hubie Brooks. Okay. We got a, who the fuck is this guy? Steve Ontiveros. Well, I can honestly say, as an avid card collector of 80s and 90s baseball, I don't think this fucking guy exists. This cannot be a real card. I have never heard of this man. Bill Pacoda. That's an interesting one. Pacoda rankings. Andy Allenson. Indians great. Tim Cruz. Looking good with that mustache and Dodger white. Dan Pasqua. Yankees hitter. Love this man. Dennis Boyd. You may know him as Oil Can. I got a Brewer here. Who the fuck is Jay Aldrich? Frank Tanana. Jim Dwyer. He looks old as fuck in this picture. How old is he really? 88 Donruss. Okay, he is old. He's 38. I thought this was going to be one of these things where, there's like a 28-year-old guy. Like Ray Nitschke at 35 looked 80. Bob Sebra. John Pawlowski. Bill Buckner, Angels. Dave Meads. And Terry Pendleton. He had a nice career. All right. No Marquette Badgers live. I'll be on CBS on Saturday. So if anybody wants to call in and break that game down, you're more than welcome to do so. Jerry says, these packs have been ass. You've been saving your kid pain. That's right. Yeah. How fucking exciting. I get my kid into baseball cards, and he opens up a goddamn Jim Dwyer. What a disaster. All right. See you guys later.